Unleash the power of purpose with impactful business voices, hosted by Nancy Baki and Anita Larsen. Each week, you'll be inspired by stories from companies that are making a real difference in the world, and you'll learn practical tips on how to grow your business with an impact.
Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Listen, welcome back. Today is another special day. We are having an Impactful Business Voices podcast, and it's our monthly Business Lounge episode. So every Tuesday, we showcase business owners that make an impact with their business on the world and on their clients. But today, it's our last Tuesday of the month. We are sharing our resources and experience to help businesses grow, to help continue make an impact in the world. So we're going to be sharing a lot of valuable information today, and we recommend that you get a pen and paper. Maybe you take your notes on your computer, whatever you prefer, but get ready to go because today's topic is a hot one. So we're your hosts. I'm Nancy Baki.
And I'm Anita Larsen. So again, happy Tuesday. And welcome back to our series on annual planning. So we started this last month because we wanted to get an early start. And we covered the essentials of business planning really last month. And today we want to focus specifically on the marketing planning aspect of it, because a good marketing plan can really set the tone for the year. And it's the key driver to reach all the business goals that you set when you worked on your overall business plan. So let's just dive right in and talk about how to create a marketing plan that aligns with your business goals and tie the two together. So Nancy, you want to kick us off?
Yes, absolutely. Listen, this is very, very exciting. First, I want to start by saying, just because you didn't start on January 1st doesn't mean that you can't start on January 2nd or January 15th or February 1st or February 5th, right? Mm-hmm. Don't just wait till December 31st to make these decisions. It's time to start now, right? Yes, it's November. In a few days, it's December. So first thing that you need to do is you need to start setting your marketing goals. So setting goals is one of the first things in your marketing plan that you have to do. If you don't plan it, I will ask you, and you will actually be, content. Don't do it. Don't take the time to do it. Right? You're going to lose your time. You're going to lose money. Just don't do it. Do yourself that favor. But it is very important to ensure that these goals are not just aligned with your business objectives, but they're also very realistic. Right? So you want to be able to set effective SMART goals for your marketing campaigns. And SMART, for those that don't know what SMART actually means, it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. So for example, instead of saying, I want more website traffic, what's a SMART goal? It would be, for example, I want to increase my website traffic by 20% in the next quarter through SEO, content marketing strategies. Again, it's very specific, right? This clarity, it really sets that stage for your focused efforts and your measurable outcomes. So when you're setting your goals, you want to start with that overall business plan. What is your business goal? How can you achieve that goal through different marketing efforts, right? So an example, if your business goal was to increase sales for a specific product or a service by, call it 30% next year, how can you achieve that through marketing? What are the strategies that you're going to employ to be able to reach that goal? And guys, numbers, it's a big thing, right? It's really, really important to know your numbers. Obviously, it's going to all depend on who your customer is for that specific product or service, right? There's so many things that you want to make sure that you have done properly before. But what are the most effective marketing strategies to reach that specific customer that's looking for you? How can you have the best execution as well? So that it could take several strategies combined. And let's just say you need to combine social media ads with SEO, for example. You need to understand, is that the right way that you need it for you? Is that where your clients then you want to really outline what is that specific social media advertising plan. What are those specific SEO efforts that you're going to take throughout the year? And again, don't forget to set your milestones, your KPIs, specific marketing goals to be able to reach that 30% increase in sales. Listen, we can keep on going on, and we both have a passion in this. So again, you'll probably want to, come back and listen to this recording. But listen, step one, here we go. Don't forget, it's all about setting your marketing goals.
Yeah, it's so important, Nancy. I agree 100%. And I think it's key also what you said, how important it is that you start with your business plan, you set your business goals, then your next step is your marketing plan. How do you use marketing to reach those business goals?
Yes.
And set marketing goals to build up to the business goals. So it's really just a hierarchy of goals, if you will, right? But numbers is key. But another super important thing is really having the tools and resources in place to be effective in your marketing planning. And that's really what can make a huge difference in making your marketing planning not so overwhelming. Because you have the right tools, it can make it more manageable, right? More efficient. So that could be things as simple as having like a digital dashboard for tracking your metrics. So like Google Analytics, having your dashboard set up properly in Google Analytics. So you have all your metrics and KPIs right at your fingertips. Or maybe you already have a content calendar in place. So you organize your social media strategy. You're not scrambling last moment. You can look back and easily see, what did I do last year? What worked for me? What didn't work for me, right? And that helps you plan going forward. So like I said, Google Analytics, social media management tools like Hootsuite. There's so many out there. I'm not even going to name a bunch of them. You all know. And that can help streamline your social media, making sure it's not an afterthought. It's a planned approach, a strategic approach. But what's really important is that you find, sorry, my voice is weird today, but what's really important is that you find a tool that works for you, the tool that works for your business and for the goals you're trying to achieve. So don't just go out there and listen to what everybody says. Oh, you have to get this new fancy tool. This tool is amazing. Okay, but is that tool really relevant for you? Or are you just like, it's kind of like going out buying a brand new minivan and you're a single person. Like, do you really need a minivan? Do you need to spend money on that? Or can you just get a small car and that's more efficient for you, right? So just do your due diligence and research and vet the tools that are going to be the best fit for you. List down the criteria. What do I need in this tool? What is the information I need to get? How does it need to work for me? And what do I really want to spend on it? There are so many low-cost tools, even free tools available in all categories. So just make sure you balance your budget with the criteria and needs you have for that specific tool.
Yeah,
that will help you plan better.
Yeah, and I think what's really important is, especially in the last 2-3 years, there's so many things that came out. So many things. I mean, talk about AI. Like every second person I talk to has a new AI this and a new AI. Like, you gotta choose one or two things, vet them, just like she said. Don't let it overwhelm you, because they will
be overwhelming.
There's
a new AI tool, I swear, every second. And if you're going to go through them all, again, do you really need it? Or is it just that, I'm a nerd, I'm like, yes, give me every fun tool and technology and gadget that's out there. I'll take it all. But obviously that's not a smart business decision, is it? So I have to control myself and focus on which tools are really relevant to me. Yes, I love that tool. It looks like so much fun, but that's really not where I need to be spending my money, because I don't necessarily have a use for it. I could use a different tool for the same purpose. Right?
Yeah. And, going a different direction, sometimes it's not about money. There's a lot of free tools out there. Don't waste your time as well. There's a lot of things that you don't need, and they give them free for a reason, right? So we won't even go there, because we could go on a different topic.
That's a whole different episode, right?
Absolutely. So that was a really nice tour of different tools and resources. Look, guys, your next thing is really creating that market plan timeline. Again, another important step. Don't miss this step. It's not just a schedule. It's a commitment to your actions that you're going to take. So you want to really break down your year into quarters or months and assign specific tasks or campaigns to each one of them so that you know what you're doing, when you're going to attain them, and things like that. For example, in Q1, you could focus on building brand awareness through your social media, while in Q2, you might want to pivot to maybe lead generation through email marketing. Or if your business is, it's very content focused, then you might want to create a full content strategy with overarching topics for each quarter, or again, every month, right? You want to streamline your conversations and your content generation that you have. And, of course, you want to make sure that your marketing plan timeline, it really aligns with the timeline of your specific business goals, right? So look, there's different approaches that you could take, but this approach, it really ensures that your marketing efforts are consistent and they're strategic throughout the year. And that, again, you're aligned to do it, and you're not taking 4 years to do something that can take 1 year to do or a few weeks to do. And again, guys, if you are lost in this, I will say, don't just put it in, just don't put it down and hide it with a blanket. Speak to somebody that can help you, because this can make or break the year. I'm just going to give you an example. Networking, that's a huge way of marketing your business. If that's one way that you want to do it, know how to network properly. Don't just walk into a network group, right? So again, put your timeline, make sure that you do everything on a timed basis. If you don't know what you're doing, speak to somebody that does. Anita, I'm going to let you go on the next one, because the next one, I know it's one of the most important things that I personally, it was really hard for me in the beginning. KPIs, it was huge, but the day I did it was the day my life changed.
Yes. Well, and I am going to go into that, but I do want to add something to what you just said first.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of the book 12-Week Year. And for those of you that haven't read it, I don't follow it to a T, and that I do that with all business books I read. I read it and I take in and pick out the pieces that I feel are relevant to me and that works with how I work. And same thing with the 12-week year. It works with the premise that if you consider 3 months a full year, that's how you should run your business, basically, right? Run on a 3-month interval. And I do that in all my own planning. I do. And I actually have since my start of my professional career, really. I always do deep quarterly reviews, and I do it with all my clients as well. And I think I found it so beneficial to really do a deep dive every quarter, set quarterly goals that roll up to the year, but set quarterly goals and check in and see how's everything going. Did I meet my goals? Did I not meet them? Why? What happened? Was I too aggressive? Were they too easy? What do I need to change for next quarter? Like, adapt to what you find in your reviews is so important. Like, don't be afraid to change things around. This is your business. Nobody's going to yell at you for changing your goals throughout the year. Make sure the goals continue to work for you. Don't lock yourself into it. So I just wanted to mention that. I do think it's so important that, and this ties very much into your KPIs as well. It's so important that you check in on how you're working towards your goals on a regular basis. So speaking of KPIs, that's your key performance indicators. I'm sure all of you know. It's kind of like the GPS for your marketing, right? It tells you how you perform. It guides you and tells you if you're on the right track. So in any business, you could include things like your conversion rates, your lead generation efforts, your engagement metrics in social media. So for every marketing strategy and goal that you put in place as you go through this process, make sure you put in place specific KPIs that you're going to be using to measure your efforts. That's what's going to determine how well your marketing is performing, really. And then once you have your KPIs in place, so we can go back to the examples you gave earlier, Nancy. So say if you said that you're increasing your website traffic by 20%. What are your KPIs going to be? Well, they're going to be number of visits to your website, right? That's the main KPI that you're going to be tracking. So at regular intervals, you're going to be tracking how much did I increase my website traffic? By what percentage? You're going to set a marketing goal and a marketing strategy for how am I going to grow my website traffic? What campaigns am I going to put out there to drive traffic? What's the timeline? And how often am I going to check in? Like every week, I want to check on this. Every month, I'm going to check on this. Every quarter, I'm going to say, okay, did I meet my goal? No. Okay, because the campaign didn't quite perform as I wanted it to. So for next quarter, I want to do this. And that's really how your business should work. You have to be adaptable, and you have to be open and willing to fail, because it's going to happen. You're not going to meet every goal. Yeah. And if you don't, that's fine. Maybe you were too aggressive, or maybe there were outside forces that came into play. There's economy, there's COVID, going back to that. I feel like we mentioned that almost every episode, but it just changed the business world so much.
It did.
So there are so many outside forces that could play into it. And some of it is going to be beyond your control. So it's very important that you check your metrics, check on your goals on a regular basis, and you're ready for change based on what's working, what's not working, and then you take your action and adjust your strategy.
Yeah, I love that. And just staying on the KPI topic for a second, what if you have a team and you don't even know how many calls they make? What comes about their numbers? Are the calls going on a follow-up call? I mean, there's so many different KPIs that you can do to understand what your business is doing, the good, the bad, the ugly. You want to see it so that you can correct it. Sometimes you've got a wrong employee in the wrong department, and you won't even know until you understand, see the KPIs, and really see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And again, KPIs, I think, is another huge another podcast that we could do, but very, very important, guys. Listen, I struggled with it a lot. And I'm being very transparent with you guys. My reason many years ago was, it's too much work. When I decided to do it, it was the best thing that ever happened, because I knew exactly, I actually saved time, saved money, saved stress. Had a better follow-up system. Kept my clients longer. There's a lot of positive reasons of KPIs. Of course, keeping you on track is number one, but just remember there's many, many other reasons. So I will come back on this boat of our marketing plan. So, Anita, I'm going to start talking a little bit about the common mistakes that people are making in the marketing planning world. Listen, even the best marketers that are out there can slip up.
Absolutely.
Right? Some common mistakes, they include a few different things. So one, you could have a vague goal, which lead, it can lead to really scattered efforts and resources. So to avoid this, you want to be able to set detailed, actionable plans right from the start.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, just go back, use your SMART goals. Right? Come back to that SMART. Another trap is poor resource allocation. Yes. Look, guys, if you're always aligning your resources with your strategic requirements, then you're in a good place. You have to look at this in more of a depth. You have to make resource planning part of your marketing planning. Review it all the time. Don't just review it on January 1st or December 31st, right? So find out what are the resources that you need. Do you have those resources already? And if not, where are you going to get them? Can you get them referred from somebody? Do you know other people using them? Again, there are so many, like Anita said, there's so many resources out there. Be picky and choose the right one, because the one or two that you're going to keep are the ones that are going to align with you and what you're doing.
But sorry to jump in, Nancy,
no, you're good.
But don't forget resources in terms of people, and having the right people in the right places as well to help you execute what you're planning.
That is key, actually. Thanks for bringing that, Anita. don't think that you want to be the CEO of everything, the chief of everything officer. Don't do it. Delegate it to somebody that is an expert in it. I mean, why learn it if you have somebody that's really good at it, right?
Yeah.
So great point. Thanks for bringing that. Communication, it's also key. Like miscommunication can derail even the most well thought out plans. So just ensure that everybody on your team understands their role and the overall strategy that's involved. I mean, who's responsible for what? Like, be specific. Do they understand and know the goal that they're working towards? Or is it just your point of view that you're telling them? Have discussions with them, right? And as a leader, you want to decide how to be able to communicate these overall business goals with the rest of your team, and make sure that everything that's moving, all the moving parts, they're moving in the same direction towards that same goal that you want, and that the employee understands or your team understands.
Yeah. I think that's so important. I'm so glad you said that. I think communicating with your team and making sure everybody knows what's going on and you're working towards a common goal, everybody's on the same, going in the same direction. It's so important. So let's just go over some. I think we covered like the key elements of marketing planning, but some additional like just practical tips and best practices. And we mentioned some of this already, but it deserves to be highlighted. Like I said earlier, be adaptable. The market can change rapidly, your industry, your business. All of a sudden, maybe you lose a key employee. Maybe there's a strike. Maybe you don't know what could happen in a year span, right? So the market can change rapidly, and so should your strategy, and so should your business. So just be prepared for that and don't dread it. Take it as a challenge, take it as an opportunity. So go back to your KPIs. That's what's going to keep you on track. Don't be afraid of change. Look to your KPIs, say, okay, well, this didn't work because this happened. So what else can I do to meet that KPI? What's another strategy I can employ to make that still happen, right?
Yes.
Because your marketing strategy should not be set in stone. When you do your planning and you set your goals and you set your KPIs, you don't really know how that strategy is going to work out because it may not be tested yet. It may be something brand new you're trying. So that's why it's so important that you review it on a regular basis and you see what's working, what's not working based on changes in your business, in your industry, trends, what's going on in the world. And then, of course, the smaller things, your creative, your messaging, your offer, your product, your service, all those things play into it too. So look at what's working and what's not working and make changes accordingly. And another element that I think is very important to mention is, and as we just talked about messaging briefly, don't underestimate the power of storytelling in your marketing. A compelling story from a brand can really resonate with your audience and really help set you apart from the competition. So if you have something unique to share, something special that you think is really what makes your brand what it is today, something close to you, share it with your customers, because customers of today, they want to feel like they're a part of something. They want to get to know brands on a more personal level and feel involved. So don't be afraid to kind of put your heart out there as a brand and as a business, and that will only help draw people in.
Yeah. I'm going to bring this back again. Guys, this may be overwhelming, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of information, but I'm reminding you this is a start of a brand new year again. I know you had it last year, but you have another chance again. Don't give it up. There are so many things that you can do. Don't do it alone. If you don't know how to do it, I'm reminding you, don't sit there and just not do it, because then you're not going to succeed. And you want to succeed. If you want to succeed, there are things that you need to do to succeed, right? It's not just sitting down and not doing anything about it. It's not writing a marketing plan. You have to do it. It is a must for your business to survive.
Mm-hmm. For your business to grow and thrive. Yeah, it might survive, but it might just barely go by. You want it to grow and thrive, right?
Thank you. I appreciate you and 100%. And grow and thrive, not just for a year, for years to come. Guys, we have our podcast called Impacting Business Voices. If you are impacting the world, which really each of you are helping a business, a prospect, with a problem or challenge that they have that you are fixing. You have the solution to it. So you're definitely making an impact. Go out there and shine. And if you don't know how, please, guys, I repeat for the 10th time, connect with somebody that resonates with you. Have a good conversation. Talk about what your business goals are. Let them help you. So, final thoughts. Guys, to conclude today, your marketing plan, it is a living document. It should evolve as your business evolves and the marketing. It needs to work together. Start now. Refine as you go. Don't think that you put something in there, you put it on paper, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can make changes as you go. Don't forget to measure, adjust. These are very important. Again, don't just leave it on paper. Take action with it, right? We would love to hear how your marketing planning goes. So feel free to share your stories with us. Anita, any parting thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I think we're just hammering it in. We're like, adapt. Change is good. Keep changing and evolving, and keep on top of what's going on in your industry and in your world, and where you can take advantage of it, and what's the opportunity in there for you. Make sure you speak to your specific customer. Don't be afraid to involve your customer and let them into your story and into your brand story. But ultimately, successful businesses are the ones that adapt. That's the bottom line.
Love it. What a great ending. Guys, we hope that this was useful information and that you were able to take some notes. Feel free to go back and watch any of the missteps that you had. The recording will be on YouTube immediately following the live session at Impactful Business Voices. We are always open to chat, so please reach out. And just one more thing to mention, if you are an impactful business owner with a story to share, we would love to speak with you and possibly have you here as a guest on the show. So please reach out to us on LinkedIn or email us at info@impactfulbusinessvoices.com.
And don't miss out on future episode. We'll see you here next week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, with another exciting guest. So stay tuned for more information.
And until next week, guys.
Yes.
Go make an impact.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Impactful Business Voices. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode.